Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Unprepared. I'm your host, Chase Clymer. Today I'm welcoming to the show Tim from Smile. Tim, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Chase?
Oh, just screwing up the intro 3 times in a row. But let's get into it. What are you bringing to us today? What are we discussing?
Yeah, so today I wanted to talk about how we can really turn all of those Black Friday, Cyber Monday shoppers that we've spent all this time and effort lining things up and getting for the holiday season, and how we turn all those shoppers into long-term loyal brand advocates in the post BFCM season.
Yeah, I definitely think that Q4, especially this year, where everyone probably paused a lot of their budget, in Q2 when everything kind of started hitting the fan. I think everyone's going to be dumping a lot into it. And I do know that a lot of people actually started pausing their budgets on paid acquisition during the election as well. So I think a lot of people are going to have budgets to burn, and there's going to be a lot of new customers had by a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, this BM was so different than any previous one just because, there's so many more shoppers online because everyone's purchasing everything online, and there's so many more brands online too, because once COVID hit, everyone had to move to e-commerce in order to survive. So there's so many more opportunities for people to buy things online. So in order to be successful with BFCM, people really needed to level up what they're doing to attract customers, to differentiate themselves from all of the competition that's out there now. So, now we're in a point where it's like, okay, we've spent a lot of time and effort building out these intricate BFCM campaigns and strategies. And now what do we actually do with all those emails? What do we do with all those shoppers that raised their hand, said, I want to buy this, I like your brand? And, I think in the past, oftentimes there's been a big focus on just get the customer, get the sale, BFCM, 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 and then it just kind of faded away. And it's been okay, new year, let's start things over again. And I think we're in a really interesting position this year where we can really capitalize on the fact that because there's so many other brands out there and shoppers have so much more selection, to really turn those one-time buyers into repeat customers, because it's way easier for you to turn them into repeat customers than to get a new one. And it's way more valuable for your brand to build a brand advocate than it is to just keep trying to get new customers every time.
Yeah, I mean, what you said there at the beginning of your last kind of concept there was just the fact that it's so much cheaper to resell to an existing customer than it is to go out and get a new one, especially if, that's the one downside of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, is it's so expensive. And especially if paid is your only tactic during that time, you're paying a lot more money to acquire that customer during that time than you would at any other time during the year. So if you're not finding ways to, essentially raise the lifetime value of that customer you just acquired, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, and at times possibly not even profitable from that acquisition.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we've seen, Smile is an e-commerce loyalty program provider for scaling e-commerce brands. And so obviously, we believe that building a loyalty program and a brand community with a loyalty program is the best way to turn those one-time sales into repeat customers. And so it's the brands from our experience that are really leveraging loyalty during Black Friday, and not just waiting until now to be like, okay, well, how do I turn those customers into repeat ones? But they're actually thinking about it before the season even started. We see customers that are, rather than having to, spend a lot on having massive discounts, those typical 50, 60, 70% off Black Friday discounts, rather than doing stuff like that, like you said, sinks their profits before the new year, they're offering points in exchange for discounts. So they're locking in a points balance for shoppers. So rather than having to do 50% off, they're doing, double the loyalty points or something like that. That gets customers excited because it's valuable to them. But long term, it's more valuable for brands because they're building that loyalty, with points, but they're building that loyalty. They have that brand community set up so that they can do something with those customers later on. So now, once we're in that post season, they can motivate customers to cash in all those points that they earned without having to just keep throwing more and more discounts. It's an exchange of value that is really easy to convert those customers again.
Yeah. So, I got a more practical question here. So when people are doing incentivized sales and they want to do it on a more loyalty point based system. Where are people kind of going with those? Is it like, you know, a BOGO on points essentially? Like if you normally get 1 point, we're going to give you 2 points. Is it that simple?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a double or triple points earning campaign right around Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And then now in the post BFCM season, or as things start to slow down or typically slow down, then it's running like a double points redemption campaign where instead of, you know, 1 point being worth $1, 1 point you can cash in and get $2 back. And so it brings.
Oh, so if I accidentally missed the rush and I didn't have this prepared, you know, back then, I can just set up a campaign now to essentially do the same thing, but kind of just backwards.
Yeah, and it works either way. So you can, for the people that have big points balances from BFCM, you can motivate them to cash those in now in a typically slower time with a double points campaign, or you can do it the other way where because things are typically slower, then you say, hey, if you purchase now, you can earn twice as many points. And so no matter what way you do it, bonus points campaigns for me, I've seen it time and time again, is just such a strong motivator to get people excited.
Okay, last question I got for you before we wrap it up here is if I just miss the boat completely, right? I just don't even have a loyalty program installed on my store. We just forgot about it. There was other things that were more important, right? So that just got pushed off the to-do list. Could I implement a solution and assign points retroactively?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously depends on what platform you're using, but ideally you're able to, whether you're using Shopify or whatever your e-commerce platform, you have all of that purchase data. So you know how much people are spending, every order, you have all that data. And so you can just upload it, and however you configure your program, you can retroactively assign points. If you're setting up VIP tiers, retroactively put people in the different tiers that they would specifically fall into based on their past purchase history. So it's never too late to start a loyalty program. If you don't have one, the best time is now, because you can literally set one up in minutes. You can make it fully on brand and make it feel like a cohesive part of being part of your brand's community, and emphasize the value of your brand, the value of engaging with you. And it literally takes minutes. It doesn't take weeks or months that it would if you had to build something on your own. That's the beauty of the e-commerce marketplace that it is that technology just makes it so easy for you to get started. And it's just immediately adding value to your brand and to your customers.
Awesome. Now, if someone's curious about anything we talked about today, how do they reach out to you or anyone else over at Smile to kind of get some more personalized support, or just ask some questions that they might have about the product?
Yeah, we've got a general inbox. You can send something, an email to help@smile.io, and that will go to our team. And then the person that is best suited to answer your specific question can pick that up and help you out as soon as they can. Otherwise, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Tim Peckover. I'm happy to chat in messages or however is easiest for you. But yeah, Tim Peckover on LinkedIn, Twitter, I'm everywhere. So yeah, definitely open to having direct conversations too.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing.
Cool. Thanks, Chase.
Unprepared is not scripted or edited. When I screw up, it's going live. That might work for this show, but that is no way to run a business. Our partner and sponsor, Rewind, can protect your Shopify store with automated backups and quick and easy recovery. Rewind should be the first app you install on your project to protect your store against human error, misbehaving apps, or collaborators gone bad. It's like having your own magic undo button. Trusted by over 25,000 businesses, from side hustles to the biggest online retailers like Reebok, Gatorade, or Movement Watches. Best of all, you can respond to any of their welcome emails and just mention Unprepared this show and get your first month absolutely free.